Hi guys, it's April 1st, 2019, April Fools, and we got woken up today to find out that the Serfs YouTube channel has been deleted from YouTube. For those of you who don't know us, we are like a far left-leaning comedy channel that made a lot of videos exploring a range of issues, and we just hit 7,000 subscribers. We've been made YouTube partners, and out of nowhere, with no strikes or warning or anything, they just deleted our account. And the reasons they give you when this happens, they're obviously it's one of those generic corporate emails, but the reasons that we got are called deceptive practices, scams, and policies. And I went through this entire thing, it feels like 1,000 times already, trying to find something we had done. Content that is excessively posted, repetitive, and untargeted, promises users they will see something but indirects them to stuff off-site, gets clicks or views or traffic from YouTube to get people to make them money, sends audiences to sites that spread malware, content offering cash gifting, voter suppression content aimed at misleading voters about a time or a place or eligibility, incentivizing spam, comment spam, repetitive comments. I mean, the crazy thing about all these is we've never done any of these. We've never ever once spam people. We've never linked to outside sites. The only sites we ever linked to were our Patreon and recently our Teespring site, both of which are approved by YouTube. We've never put celebrities' names in metadata or put it in search functions. We've never done any of these things. What we had done is we made a handful of videos that became pretty controversial. I can think of three off the top of my head. One being Joe Rogan. For the longest time we had read this report, the Alternative Influence Network by Rebecca Lewis, which was an incredible academic paper. That was the first time that we actually saw that there was a trackable record of the pipeline that certain people could get exposed to through the algorithms of YouTube online. And Joe Rogan was a very large starting point for that. A lot of individuals would start on Joe Rogan and work their way through, to Stefan Molyneux, to Richard Spencer. We made that video because we hadn't seen one yet. No one else had done one. And Joe Rogan is such a monstrous entity. I mean, he's such an institution when it comes to podcasting and YouTubing and stuff that we felt it was important to make something like that. We also made a video on Mark Randazza. For those of you who don't know, Mark Randazza is the lawyer to Alex Jones, as well as a whole bunch of alt-right and far-right white nationalists, such as the founder of the Daily Stormer and Richard Spencer's publicist and like all these other huge figures. And we read an article in the Huffington Post by Luke O'Brien on Mark Randazza and his crazy practices, and we made a comedy video. It was a fake commercial for Mark Randazza, just talking about how he's a scumbag lawyer who wants to fight for you and stuff like that. And it was the first time we had that kind of guttural punch because it got flagged so quickly as hate speech. When it was the opposite of hate speech, it was us trying to point out that people were committing hate speech and using the First Amendment through Mark Randazza as a way of trying to hide behind their hate speech, and that shouldn't be acceptable. And we also made a video on PewDiePie. This was long before the New Zealand shooting had occurred, when we really saw a pattern emerging, especially with the intellectual dark web and the subscribe to PewDiePie campaign that had been appearing. A lot of what he does, a lot of his jokes for the lulz, his racist jokes for the lulz, especially. I mean, paying people poorer than you to hold up signs that are anti-Semitic and stuff like that. They're all in bad taste, and we were trying to explain to people that even if you don't want to take the fact that what he is doing could be considered racist or jokes in poor form, freedom of speech isn't freedom of consequence. And if he's going to pay people poorer than him to do these things, they have real world consequences. And there's a strange reason why there's, a push from the intellectual dark web to subscribe to PewDiePie, and why there's a cross-pollination between figures on both sides. And PewDiePie and Ben Shapiro, for example, both like to send each other stuff. And the point being is with the Joe Rogan video and the PewDiePie video, they started to go kind of viral. The Joe Rogan one day had 10,000 views, and it had 50,000 views, and it was that moment where it kind of opens you up to what it is when your videos kind of reach an unintended audience and people who don't like your content. I mean, there's something about making videos and putting them on YouTube or doing social media. I mean, I sound like an old man right now, but there's this disconnect, because you do it on your computer, for example. You do it on your computer, and it just feels like you in a room and a screen, and you kind of forget sometimes how you're actually connected to potentially every human being on the planet. And nothing really prepares you for what it's like to suddenly get thousands and thousands of angry comments and letters, and hundreds of hate mails and stuff like that from something you put out there. And you put it out there with good intentions. For us, a lot of what we do is we felt for so long that what was on YouTube, or what was happening with the YouTube algorithm, was indoctrinating people into more and more radical beliefs. And we wanted to put stuff out there that would kind of make you smile and laugh and think, and ideally maybe deprogram some people. I mean, we were starting to see comments, because these videos were getting bigger, of, I might not agree with your ideas, but I never thought of it that way, and that maybe, there is some truth or validity to that. And it's just so infuriating to think that people like Stefan Molyneux can stay on the platform and espouse just the most vitriolic, cancerous rhetoric about race and IQ and the superiority of certain races based on their brain weight and eugenics and phrenology and all this other stuff that is just so insane and abhorrent to us. And for a long time we felt like we were pushing back against that, and so many other people on YouTube are, and obviously people much more talented and bigger than us are doing incredible things, like ContraPoints and H Bomber Guy and PhilosophyTube, who are actually changing lives. I mean, we'd just done an interview with Faraday Speaks, who, for those of you who don't know, is the ex-member of the alt-right that we were going to post this week, about how people like ContraPoints saved him. They brought him back from the abyss, where he had been indoctrinated online through that pipeline that everyone talks about. And when the New Zealand shooting happened, which just floored me and Dave, it was like there was a lot of the stuff we'd been warning people about and we'd been researching and seeing online had real world consequences. It was coming true. So the fact that our videos were flagged for scamming people, I mean, there's no question in my mind that it's really easy for people on 4chan or 8chan or a Discord server to band together and coordinate a mass flagging of content that they don't agree with, ironically censoring you, when so many of them talk about freedom of speech being the ultimate virtue. And this is the end result of it. I mean, I really want to give some Mel Gibson speech here. Not racist ass Mel Gibson, the old William Wallace Braveheart Mel Gibson about the battle might be lost, but the war isn't over, and all that good stuff. But man, this is deflating. It really hit hard that all this hard work we've been doing for the last 8 months, I mean, especially the last couple where me and Dave were treating this like a full-time thing. I mean, putting all our free time into research and so I mean, to any of our fans and friends who are finding this, thank you guys so much for joining us along this journey. I mean, I'm definitely not defeated. I want to put all this stuff back up. That's the reason I started this channel right away, is I want to put those important videos right back up online, because I think they are important. I think, you know, if people want to talk about the free marketplace of ideas, I think these are ideas that need to be part of that marketplace. And yeah, that's all I can really say for now.